Hi, and welcome to an Organized Chaos podcast. My name is Bobby Quarters. Chaos is here with me.
Hey.
Hey. So, we're here to talk about some movies, music, whatever else crosses our mind. But here is also the home of the most unbiased, genuine thoughts. We're not going to do anything just to say it, just to make money off of it, because we don't make a lot of money off of this. In fact, we don't make anything. We just give our opinions. And our opinions are free and unsolicited, but they're not hateful ones. That is the important thing.
Yes.
But also, while you're here, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, that is Bobby Quarters, the podcast channel, Organized Chaos Podcast, and Chaos's channel while you're at it. So thank you for watching, and do enjoy.
This ship is alive?
I have such wonderful things to show you.
Oh my God! It knows my secrets. It knows my fears. Vacate, I want off this ship. I can't leave. She won't let you.
Dudley Moore, Eddie Murphy, Kate Capshaw. It's America's best defense.
Wait a second, you're making a mistake here. I'm not in this war. I'm from Cleveland.
Have you not betrayed your queen? Bring Egon, the usurper, to me.
Did I not warn you that you would come to this?
I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Hello.
Hello.
Let's turn on the camera. There we go. Yes. And Chris?
Possibly.
We all know he peaked. He peaked with Resident Evil 27, subtitled, "Oh God, they're still making these." Oh,
Called Anything But Beating a Dead Horse.
God damn. It's like, dude, we get it. Your wife is very attractive and she kicks ass. We get it. Let it go.
No one's forgotten. Trust me.
But yes, we do have I think probably the first Paul W.S. Anderson movie I ever saw, Event Horizon. We got going into the Eddie Murphy verse with Best Defense, a movie I've never even heard of before doing this.
Yeah, me neither.
Like, oh wait,
and dipping our toes into the Dudley Moore world.
Yes,
I don't think we've ever watched anything with Dudley in it.
I don't think think so. God, and I was even thinking about earlier. I don't even know if I've seen the original Arthur.
I haven't. I would rather watch the original than any other version of it.
Oh
that
yeah, no.
exists.
Oh yeah. Listen, I think I might have seen the remake at some point, and
I'm sorry.
not even really remembering it. I'll just tell you the Dudley Moore version is objectively better.
Well, I could tell you that.
Yeah, without watching it, just like it has to be better.
Into the Dudley verse.
But and then we got to wrap up season 3 of House of the Dragon, and thoughts. I mean, thoughts on everything, but thoughts on House of the Dragon for sure.
Yeah.
But yes. Oh yeah, hashtag into the Dudley verse, hashtag into the Murphy verse. Yes, we get the crossover here. I guess first up would be Event Horizon. I'll be honest. Wow, 6.6, actually a decent score. It has been years since I've seen this. I remember back when I was younger watching this, and this movie freaked the crap out of me. Now being older, I was actually kind of shocked at like the number of recognizable names in this movie. Like, holy crap. I didn't remember. Well, I mean, I remember a lot of these names. I did not remember Sean Pertwee. I probably didn't know who Sean Pertwee was back then. But I was like, holy shit, Sean Pertwee's in this. But if you don't know, it's the story of Sam Neill, who is going through kind of a depression, but also invented a ship that's capable of going faster in life by folding space-time. The ship went missing on its maiden voyage. It is discovered again outside Saturn, I want to say. So they travel out to figure out what happened, and hijinks ensue.
Now, I've seen this a long time ago, and I'm going to tell our audience that I had a professionally busy week this week, so I didn't get around to everything. Like, I didn't watch all of this. I got some of House of Dragons, but we're going to talk about some Dudley Moore and Eddie Murphy tonight. But from what I remember about this movie is, like you said, I remember it freaking me out too.
Oh yeah.
I remember being like bothered by this movie. I also remember thinking the first time I watched it that it was like a great idea for a horror movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, brilliant idea, and like I kind of want to see more go into these levels of it. And like I remember, like you said, like it was way into the future. Well, like not too far now, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, no, I actually thought it was funny going over the timeline. The timeline it sets up at the beginning of the movie is that in 2015, the first I'm brain farting what they call it. The first permanent settlement on the moon is established. So we did that 11 years ago. Good to know.
Good to
and
know,
then like
yeah.
a few years and then it goes through a couple other things, and then the Event Horizon was made and lost in 2040, and then the movie takes place in 2047.
Yeah. So and like you said, it gets lost, it comes back, and they were but like it came back, and they kind of think, I remember it being like something like some sort of like interdimensional like demon possession sort of thing.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Yeah. Which is, again, we should dive more into something like that.
I mean, honestly, they're like Star Trek is like tapped around this idea with some of their episodes, but
they have, yes.
Yeah.
Like I remember, I want to say it was a Strange New Worlds episode where they found this satellite and just a bunch of weird shit was going on it, like creepy shit. Or it might have been a Discovery, I can't remember, but yes, I do remember watching a Star Trek episode for the show that was like that.
I mean, there's a TNG episode called Night Terrors where essentially
that might have been it.
The crew is not able to go to sleep, and the actual solution is very silly when they get to it. But like while they're not going to sleep, you essentially see them slowly going insane. But like there's essentially this signal, and they're trapped in this like nebula, and this signal going on in this nebula that will not let them sleep. So they're just like slowly going insane and just getting hallucinations all over the place, and it's getting kind of freaky. So yeah, there's very much that aspect here. They're getting lots of hallucinations. Well, it's not even sure how much of a hallucination or how much, the ship is like manifesting this stuff and just fucking with them. Arguments can go either way. But I guess before we get too far, I want to go ahead and stress this is we're covering this because rest in peace, Sam Neill.
Yes.
And I was thinking about like Hunt for Red October got no votes, and then Mouth
Just
Madness
saying-
came in second place.
Just saying, fuck it, we're going to cover the Hunt for Red October instead.
Well, no, yeah, but no. This got first place. But then I was thinking, I was like, this one you could argue that Sam Neill and Lawrence Fishburne are kind of co-leading this one. They're both pretty much,
absolutely,
yeah. And then if you look at Mouth Madness, which came in second, you definitely argue Sam Neill leads in that one. And then Hunt for Red October, I love Sam Neill, and he has a really standout role. He's at best the third most important character at best, and maybe if I rewatch it might be lower than that. So it kind of makes sense to cover one of the other ones besides that for this. But yeah, Sam Neill, I would say as far as raw character development, he definitely has the most stuff going in, because Lawrence Fishburne, while a very important character, we do get a little bit of backstory with him. We don't explore it quite as much. But yeah, he's more or less just the captain who's dedicated to protecting his crew, pretty much. And he's great because Lawrence Fishburne's a great actor. But yeah, there's lots of great actors in this. You get Lawrence Fishburne, Sam Neill, Jason Isaacs guy in the background. You got Kathleen Quinlan. There's also Jolie Richardson, who I didn't really know when I first saw this, but eventually I saw Nip Tuck. It's like, oh hey, no. And I already brought Sean Pertwee, son of the Third Doctor, which is a nice little factoid. I'm sure I didn't know who he was when I first watched this. But yeah, it's overall a really solid cast.
Is that confirmed, Paul? His last movie?
Is it?
Is it?
That'd be cool.
I mean, that would be fucking awesome.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I've seen Mouth of Madness.
Yeah,
I'm intrigued to rewatch it, but I do remember liking it a lot. It was definitely one of the better later Carpenter movies.
Yeah, I agree.
Wait, David Ellison is the guy in House of the Dragon who had those children against the wall in front of the dragon? Is that who that was? Okay. Anyways, back to Event Horizon. I think there's a really cool premise. Going back and watching it, man, there is some dated CGI in this, I have to say. Oh man. And it's kind of wild. I remember watching this on DVD and not really noticing the CGI. But now that I'm watching it on like fucking 75-inch TV, fucking HD, I'm like, oh wow, that CGI is just so obvious. I did think, while it is freaky looking, I do think that the gateway to the engine room is really kind of goofy looking at. Like this, like I guess the way they explain it is that somehow this is stabilizes magnetic field or whatever. But essentially, it's just this walkway you walk through, and it just fucking blades all around you, circling around you. And I'm actually kind of shocked there was never a scene where like a crew member just falls into it or something. They just walk back and forth on it, and it looks freaky. But yeah, no, it's a cool premise. When I was younger, I thought this was really freaky. Now I just kind of enjoy it for kind of goofy reasons. It's kind of cheesy fun in my opinion, rewatching it. But yeah, I do think it's a really cool premise. And yeah, I probably Paul W.S. Anderson's best movie. I think somebody was asking, how do we compare it to the first Mortal Kombat? This is by far better than the first Mortal Kombat. Holy crap.
100% better.
Paul was just asking what we thought of Mortal Kombat. We did watch that on the show not that long ago. And yeah, this is definitely better. I mean, I'll be honest. I remember liking the first two Resident Evil movies. I don't know if I would enjoy them in a rewatch, because I watched them once and then kind of put it down. I haven't really been interested in diving back in, especially if that franchise just kept on going. I didn't even see the last one. My understanding, the last one was supposed to be the last one, but it ends on our cliffhanger. It's like, God damn, bro. No. But yeah. Overall thoughts on this, rewatching this is a lot sillier than I remember. Really good performances though by Sam Neill and Lawrence Fishburne. Like a lot of their one-on-one scenes, especially towards the end, where fucking you get all scarred up, semi-satanic Sam Neill facing off against Lawrence Fishburne, is very freaky. I enjoyed this for what it was. One thing I will say though is I did end up watching this on Pluto TV. Holy shit, that has so many ads. It's obnoxious. I might end up just investing in getting physical media on this one because physical media is by far better. Streaming is just sucking more and more as time goes by. Yeah.
And it's harder to find stuff that's like on the platforms, and it's like rare that there's ever anything that you want.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Everything's just so spread out over platforms, and to my understanding, there's even been people who like buy the digital copy and then like their copy will just vanish because even though they bought the damn thing, they don't have the streamer that hosts it doesn't have it anymore, so they can't have it in their collection. It's like that's fucking bullshit. Then, but yeah, I enjoyed this. It was a fun one. Anything you want to add, Bobby?
It's something that I had actually rented off of Amazon, and I had it queued up to watch, and I'm excited to rewatch it because this movie is something that I always thought was just really great.
Mm-hmm. No, it's a solid little horror movie. Yeah, that looks like the old DVD I used to have years and years ago. All right, are ready to talk about best defense?
Yeah.
All right, best defense. I did think it was interesting because like all the credits and all the advertisements for this, it's like Dudley Moore and Eddie Murphy, and I know sometimes they'll even make sure to put in their strategic guest star Eddie Murphy, but Eddie Murphy still gets the second credit. I did think it was kind of funny. Well, I guess the premise of this is essentially you have Dudley Moore, Wiley Cooper. He is an engineer, and he's not a very good engineer, working on this new advanced tank. And then going alongside this, you have Lieutenant Landry, as played by Eddie Murphy, who is using the tank in battle, essentially having to use the tank in the field. And you're seeing Dudley Moore like come up with well, actually, there's more shenanigans. He doesn't really come up with much, but like the beginning of the movie, the setup of this movie is essentially Dudley Moore. He's in bed with his wife, and he gets a little horny, and he wants to have sex with her, and he has to talk her into having sex, and it's all awkward and weird. Meanwhile, simultaneously, we watch Eddie Murphy, who's off in some Middle Eastern land with a beautiful woman, and he is just he's just getting laid. He just getting
yeah,
and it is and and the way it sets it up almost feels like there's going to be a back and forth between these two. Actually watching it, I realized pretty far into it, I'm like, so this is pretty much just a Dudley Moore movie with Eddie Murphy just popping up occasionally. And that's kind of what we ended up watching. Although I will say kind of part of the point of diving into this Eddie Murphy verse is I've never even heard of this fucking movie. So it's like, well, let's check out this thing. And kind of diving into it, my thoughts are kind of like, I think Eddie Murphy has some funny moments, but they're not anything like amazing. Dudley Moore's character just kind of annoyed me. And he is primarily who we're watching through most of the movie. He and his wife aren't in a perfect marriage, and he is sexually harassing at times this attractive coworker of his, and then he's obviously not very dedicated to his work, and he is also there's a little bit of sexual harassment right there. Of course, that was the point where he had already turned in the the plans to fix the big issue with the tank, which he actually didn't get. Tom Noonan actually visits him at a restaurant and gives him plans for this tank, which that kind of blew my mind. So like they're having issues getting this tank set up. And probably one of the most charming things Dudley Moore does in this movie is that as an engineer, he makes little gadgets for his kids, which I thought that was cute. Probably the only thing in this movie he does that I would consider cute.
That's actually redeeming.
Yeah. They're milking that for all it's worth because he is not very redeeming outside of that one.
No, he's kind of a scumbag.
Yeah. But he meets Tom Noonan in this restaurant, and Tom Noonan's like, the KGB is after this experimental thing I made. I need you to hide it. And of course, Dudley Moore's like, I don't want anything to do with this. I don't know who the fuck you are. But then, Tom Noonan disappears. I think we find out he gets murdered later. In fact, I know that's exactly what happens. And then, but like the thing that Tom Noonan gives him is the exact thing he needs to fix the fucking tank. And it's like, oh, well, that was fucking convenient. But yeah, he after he gives the plans, there's I want to say Helen Shaver was her name, the lady. Yeah. And now she's like way into him, which is weird because she knows he's married. Also something I didn't really discern until later in the movie is that like I thought the Eddie Murphy and Dudley Moore stuff was supposed to be happening simultaneously. But at the end of the movie, I'm like, okay, so the Dudley Moore stuff has to be happening way before the Eddie Murphy stuff, right? Because otherwise this doesn't make sense. But Bobby, what are your thoughts on this one?
It took me a minute to kind of make that connection too with the how the two of them aren't even in the same shots mostly.
I stayed on
or
this
even
one
like
because
same time. Yeah,
I don't think they have any scenes together at all.
they don't.
Because I was looking at this, I'm like, okay, that doesn't happen in the movie.
Yeah.
No, they're very much going off on their own adventures, pretty much. And the tank is the thing that brings them together, I guess. And you can probably guess, I'm not like a huge fan of this one. This is hardly the worst movie I've ever seen. It's a fairly breezy 90 minutes, but it's kind of held back by the fact that between the two, I'm definitely more engaged with Eddie Murphy and the little time he has. No, I do like Dudley Moore as an actor. There's actually a movie he did in the 90s called Crazy People that I thought was fucking hilarious. But yeah, here he displays such a kind of a wormy douchebag that I kind of don't care. And they kind of want to present him as just like the average schlub, but the problem is he's not an average schlub. Because it's like if he actually had like a passion for his work and wanted to get the tank working, maybe that could be something. But he doesn't care. He doesn't care about any of it. Like I said, the most redeeming thing about him is that he makes little gadgets for his kids, and that's about it. Like outside of having sex with his wife, he doesn't seem to really care about his wife. But I don't know, his wife doesn't seem to care all that much about him either. So maybe that's
maybe
how they're made.
Yeah, mutual. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, that was probably the funniest line in this where the Wham's overheating and Eddie Murphy's just yelling, "Oh my God, the Wham's overheating! What the hell is a Wham?" Yeah. Was this the atrociously bad movie? No. Was it good? No. But what do you think, Bobby? Yeah.
it wasn't terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel it was definitely something that it was a Dudley Moore movie. Maybe the studio didn't think it was going to go that well, so they filmed some Eddie Murphy stuff.
Yes, it definitely feels like they could have like Eddie Murphy stuff could have been filmed like 6 months later, and you won't even notice.
Yeah, and it was like it definitely felt like it was tacked on to a Dudley Moore movie.
Yes. And that was something I noticed too, because Eddie Murphy definitely gets second credit here. But I even noticed on the movie, he's listed as strategic guest star Eddie Murphy, and I guess I just to prepare the audience. He's not in as much.
Yeah, as soon as I saw it, I was like, "The fuck does that mean?"
Yeah, I have no idea either. It means he's not in it as much as Dudley Moore. Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of this one. Although I will say it's not the worst Eddie Murphy movie I've seen. We have seen Pluto Nash for the channel, so. But yeah, this I want to say this is 1984. So I want to say this came out like a couple of months. I want to say before Beverly Hills Cop 1. So what this is what is as far as Eddie Murphy's career, this is after the first 48 hours. And after Trading Places. I want to say those are two big ones he's done at this point. So he's not a big name, but like he's getting his name out there, for sure. But yeah, this did not thrill me. After watching, it's like, oh, this is probably why nobody really talks about this one anymore. Little bit of trivia: this movie is directed by, I want to say, Willard Huck. And that name was familiar to me. I was like, oh, that name's really familiar. What else has he done? Do you want to know what else he did, Bobby?
What?
Howard the Duck.
That is amazing.
So a little bit of connection here between the Eddie Murphy verse and the very first Marvel theatrical film release ever. A little bit of trivia. I'm pretty sure I have Howard the Duck on Blu-ray. So. Oh, that movie is terrible, but yes, this movie is quite a bit better than Howard the Duck. I will say that in its defense, in its best defense, let's say. But yeah, this is a movie I've never seen of, so yeah, kind of diving in. Here we go. Here's an Eddie Murphy movie I had never seen before that I have now seen. It's kind of wild. I was looking over his filmography not that long ago, and I was like, I've actually seen a lot of these. A lot of the holes that I haven't seen, like I haven't seen Norbit, I haven't seen Vampire in Brooklyn, which I am intrigued to watch that one when we get to it, because I've only heard just terrible things. But at the same time, the idea of Eddie Murphy as a vampire is kind of intriguing. I know there's a couple other ones I haven't seen, but like, yeah, those are the big ones. But like, even during the 90s, during his period where everybody talked about like his career's going downhill, even if he wasn't doing the huge hits, like there's a few of those 90s ones I remember watching and enjoying, like Distinguished Gentleman, obviously, and Metro, where it's like, well, those aren't terrible. So we will get to them when we get to them. But yeah, this is the first kind of misstep in the Eddie Murphy verse, but we've already talked about Beverly Hills Cop. I believe it's Golden Child after this one. So
yeah,
that's one I enjoy, but I'm definitely intrigued to hear your thoughts on it, Bobby.
Okay.
But anything you want to add before we just head into House of the Dragon? I shut down everything.
Let's go into House of the Dragon. Yeah.
All right. So House of the Dragon, season 3. Now we've seen the whole thing. Lots of action, lots of drama, lots of suspense, lots of incest.
Yes, you mustn't forget that. That is a crucial part of Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
And you mustn't forget the incest.
Well, I will also let me go ahead and say there's a crucial part of Game of Thrones that this thing doesn't have, and that's any likable characters.
That is also true.
Yeah, I remember for the first 2 seasons, I kind of liked Rhaenyra, but like as she's won this war and taken the Iron Throne, she has just been kind of failing as a fucking ruler, at a frustrating point. Yeah. And with her failing, it's like, oh well, she kind of sucks this, and I actually don't like anybody else. And that's the thing. Like Game of Thrones had tons of characters I dislike. But like I also had characters I loved. I loved Tyrion. Jon Snow is a great protagonist in my opinion. Fucking Daenerys until she goes insane, I thought was a great character. I really liked her, and even had some villains I loved to watch, like fucking Tywin. Man, Tywin was such a piece of shit, but like,
oh, he was such a scumbag. But
like when he has his moments, it's like, oh, I kind of love him at this moment. So Game of Thrones has characters you like and characters that even if you don't like the character, you like to watch them. And so far with House of the Dragon, as we get further into the series, I don't know if I like anybody at all. I guess I could grade some characters. I know the big death this season was Allison's. Yeah, it was Allison's boyfriend, Christian, who I could barely remember from the past 2 seasons.
Yeah.
I didn't give a shit about him.
No, seeing that, I was
he just
oh,
unceremoniously
no.
died, and I was like, fine, fuck it.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, oh no, that's
Oh
such a
no, that
shame.
dude.
It's about time. I know Damon will be mad that it wasn't him.
Yes. I know some people might even argue that Damon's a character they like. I'm not that big a fan. I love Matt Smith as an actor, but like Damon is kind of he's kind of sleazy. And not in ways I find particularly intriguing. Just kind of. Oh yeah, and something else I saw people posting about on this is that like they were upset that Damon and Rhaenyra weren't getting more romantic scenes together, and I'm like, we are remembering that that he's her uncle, right? Like their whole marriage is fucking Game of Thrones shit.
Yeah, it's like we aren't forgetting that, like, he's her uncle, right?
Yes, and like even like with like she has a girlfriend, and like, listen, I'm not a huge fan of her girlfriend either, but like as far as a relationship, I'd much rather see that explored than her and Damon because. But yeah, and that's the thing. Like, Game of Thrones has tons of characters I like, and even characters I like that I like to watch that I don't actually like. And then you also look at Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Night of the Seven Kingdoms had tons of characters I liked, and then even had a couple characters where I hated them. Like, and then this just doesn't have any of that.
Well, you see, not House of or Night of the Seven Kingdoms is great about dispatching those unlikable characters fairly quickly.
Yeah. But yeah, I watched through the whole season, and I'll also say like the biggest thing that happened at the end is the one guy who got burnt, his dragon was still alive. Spoilers, Bobby. His dragon's still alive, and he is like kind of making a mark for a claim for the realm. So obviously the big struggle is going to be with him versus Rhaenyra. And I kind of don't give a shit who wins.
Yeah, it's also kind of
they're all douchebags. I mean, the one dude who's been guiding him did have a moment where he told him that you're just a piece of shit. And I did kind of like that moment, but that's about it. Yeah, I'm not overly thrilled with any of this. And maybe part of it is just it's too much like Game of Thrones. It's too much like a copy of Game of Thrones. It's Game of Thrones, but with more dragons. And I'm like, the and more dragons can only get you so far unless you have the characters. Because the thing about Game of Thrones is that it didn't need a billion fucking dragons because the characters carried the goddamn story. Unless we're going to follow the dragons, I don't care about having extra dragons. And yeah. Yeah, I think I'm burnt out on this one.
Yeah,
I'm not super thrilled with it.
I'm also a little burnt out on it as well.
I'm excited for Night of the Seven Kingdoms for that to come back. But yeah. And that's the thing. Like watching the first episode of Night of the Seven Kingdoms, I was like, holy shit. Like this feels like Game of Thrones, but like slight comedic edge. It feels like perfect. And then this, and and that's the other thing. Like we can talk about how this feels kind of like a copy of Game of Thrones. And that's one of the things that disappoints me about this, especially watching the first episode forever ago. So I was really disappointed that like they didn't give this show a new theme. The theme of this is literally just the Game of Thrones theme.
Yeah,
it's like that's so lazy. And I don't, I get it. If you have a really good theme, you don't want to get rid of it. But like Game of Thrones is over. Do something different with this. Yes, it's in the Game of Thrones universe, but do something different. Have characters that I like, that I, either want to see win or I just am desperate to see them die. Like, that's the other thing. Game of Thrones had characters like fucking Joffrey or that one dude who chopped off the one dude. Ramsay, God. Yeah, characters that you hated and you're just waiting, eager anticipation for them to finally go down. There's not even characters like that here. I'm not like, I don't really like anybody. I don't desperately hate anybody. They're all just kind of crappy. I don't know what else to say. Bobby, what would you like to say?
Yeah, this is what's frustrating for me about this show the most, I think, is that I feel that they try to emphasize more of the politics side of it. And it's just I just they go so much of it that it bores me out. And I think it's for me, it's I enjoyed that stuff of the original.
Yeah.
But I just don't like how they're executing it in this series. I think something that's also hurt them a lot is that they keep feeling that or I don't know, like they introduced one too many characters. And there's like so many different plot threads going on, and it's just kind of okay, cool, this is happening to this person. Should I be caring about this?
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Should I not? I forget who is this person.
Who is that?
And then they switch to somebody and go, "Who the fuck is this guy?" Like,
Yeah, no. There's a couple times where there's a character reveal, and I would be like, "Oh, that face looks familiar, but who the fuck is that?"
Yeah, I just kind of feel that there's not this great execution of the show.
Yeah, just underwhelmed by this thing massively. You know, I was kind of engaged with it, like at the beginning. I thought like at the beginning, especially there's characters that I like. But then like as it just progresses, all the characters that I kind of like are just kind of descending into not liking them. Oh, and the other thing I'm not really digging. So like famously, season 2 kind of ended abruptly because like they were supposed to get 10 episodes. They did 8 episodes, and then HBO said, nope, you're only doing 8. And so they had 8 episodes of a 10-episode season. And that's what they did for season 2, which is why it ends so fucking abruptly now of nowhere. And then for this season 3, you can tell like the first 2 episodes were kind of what season, the end of season 2 were obviously supposed to be. Because like, at least in season 1 and then through Game of Thrones, like every season, you can tell there's kind of a story going on. There's a specific story for that season specifically. And it felt like the season 2 story had to get wrapped in the first 2 episodes. And I assumed they'd probably kind of like do a lot of your middle ground in the 4 episodes and then wrap up season 3 with the last 2 episodes. But no, season 3 just decides to end on a fucking cliffhanger again. And I'm kind of like, listen, I do think there's plenty of shows that can carry the cliffhanger. I'm not super thrilled with Game of Thrones doing it because usually Game of Thrones, like the whole season's a storyline, and then waiting for the next season is waiting to see how what happened, what's going to, like usually at the end of the season, you know, there's a status quo change, and then you get to see what happens in the next season. There's not a status quo change at the end of this one. It's just a cliffhanger, and then we'll see what happens. Yeah, I don't like that setup for Game of Thrones. I like the old setup, and you know, it feels like they're copying Game of Thrones in the worst aspects, and then the best aspects they're not. And it just, I don't care. I don't care that there's more dragons in this. I don't. It's not engaging characters. It's not interesting storylines. Yeah, I'm not happy with the direction the series is going in. I guess looking at these scores, I guess I'm in the minority. Season finale had a 9.1. So what am I to say? But I'm not thrilled with this. Anything else you want to add, Bobby?
No, I'm also a little underwhelmed and disappointed with this.
Yeah. Well, also the incest in like Game of Thrones, like the guys who are doing incest were like pretty bad, and then like Jamie gets kind of a redemption arc going on, but even at the end, like his relationship to his sister is what brings him down. So the incest in that is not seen as a good thing, and here they're just like, I feel like they're randomly dropping it in. Like, you know, obviously we have Rhaenyra with her uncle, which is just kind of weird. We don't see a whole lot of them like as a couple though, which I guess helps. But then there's a thing where the one-eyed prince, I can't think of his name, is having dreams of fucking his mom. And I'm like, that's not weird at all. That's not weird at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not overly thrilled with this. I'm disappointed at this point. Anything you want to add, Bobby? Or
No.
All right, so Bobby brought up the pop culture. Oh, actually, why don't you introduce the pop culture topic, Bobby?
Oh, okay. We're going to this week. I kind of had to. I thought of it on the fly, and this week's pop culture question I am posing to you, Chaos, is name a band that you feel is overrated.
Well, would you like me to answer one?
Yeah, answer one.
Okay, so I think there's one obvious one, and it's I want to add that I think this is a very skilled and talented band. I just think they're given way too much credit for doing stuff that honestly lots of other bands have done before them and lots of bands have done since.
Yeah,
I'm going with Nirvana.
Okay.
I think they're extremely talented, skilled band. I think they got some absolute fucking bangers as far as albums and singles. But I think they're given just way too much credit overall.
Okay.
But yeah.
Controversial.
Yes, very controversial. Cancel me now. Cancel me now.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Ooh, intriguing.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff about their music that is great.
Yeah.
I feel lyrically is where they fail the worst. And the problem is they just happen to have a frontman / lead singer who is like definitely main character syndrome type of person, which it's good to be for a main character, for a lead singer like that. It's good to have that. But I just feel that the lyrics are the worst part of their music.
I could see that. Like
I'm saying this as someone who I was a huge fan at one point.
Yeah.
But reading his book kind of changed my opinion of him as a person.
Oh,
and
okay.
I can kind of just like, I really don't want to be giving you any money or anything.
Well, I know I want to say there's maybe some allegations against him and stuff like that, which is
he straight admits to it.
Oh, he does. Okay.
He straight says while they were recording one album, his girlfriend at the time admitted that she was like in her teens, and quote, "We made love one more time and went our own ways." It's just more so the fact of just like, yeah, you knew, dude. So it's hard for me to kind of like get behind a band like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've really listened to him too much since then. I will say I always did like Blood Sugar Sex Magic. But,
I believe it was when they were making that album. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You tainted it. But yeah, I will say, like, I've listened to a few of their albums. Blood Sugar Sex Magic was the one I always liked. But a lot of the other ones are, there's good songs on it, but nothing really grabbed me. Of course, they were fucking hit makers throughout the 90s and
absolutely.
Early aughts. Like every album would have like 3 or 4 hits on it.
I would say that is one for me.
I think that's fair. Especially
but I have my own
more has
personal
come
bias.
out. And it's like,
but I've also had my personal bias, and that is my personal bias towards them. But honestly, I've always felt that the band, like John Frusciante, Flea, and Chad Smith, as those three, they are talented musicians.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, Frusciante is one of my favorite. Is I would say I would put him on a list, maybe my top 20 of favorite guitarists. But yeah.
And Flea's one of those guys. It's always fun when he pops up in a goddamn movie because I swear it happens so often. It's like, holy shit, Flea's here.
I think it's just more he shows up and they go, "Oh, cool, Flea, we're gonna put you in this movie."
Yeah, you're in this movie now. Okay,
cool. And just cool.
That's how you end up in Back to the Future, right? Okay, so let's see. Overrated bands. Oh, here's one. Here's one that I think they have lots of. Gonna get a lot of hate for this one. They have lots of great songs, in my opinion. I've listened to a couple of their albums. I haven't liked a single album, but like I think they have good songs. And also the guys with the band are the brothers are outrageously egotistical and unlikable in every single goddamn interview. So that probably doesn't help. Oasis.
Not the band I thought you were going to say, but You said
Mhm.
brothers, and I thought you were going to say the Black Crows.
I'm not as familiar with them, so I can't really say that one.
But
yeah.
yeah, I'll agree with you. I agree. Yeah, Oasis, like Liam and Noel have a tendency to come off as pompous dicks, but
Yeah.
and not just so much like the British thing.
Yeah.
Like, like it may, to our culture, American culture, it could be interpreted as like, arrogant or like, dickheadish, or as they would probably say it, cuntish. But
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, even more so than that. They're just like, oh, you both are insufferable. I see what's, or it's like, I see why your brother kicks your ass.
Mhm. And I will also say, like, there was a time, especially in the 90s, when they were at their height, where people talk about them being the next Beatles, and it was just like, no, fuck off with this, stop it. And yeah, Beatles are definitely one where I guess you could make an argument they're overrated. I wouldn't make that argument because they
And
just,
I understand it.
yeah, because
I
they are so
understand it.
huge, but like they're
But
also fucking
but-
great. They're
but
also,
my counterpoint to it is you may feel that way, and that's fair. You're allowed to
Mhm.
your opinion, but you may feel they're overrated, but you cannot deny the impact they have had on popular music
dude,
and popular culture. That is just, I always say that, and it's the same with
Mhm.
any band that is
Mhm.
popular or anything. Like, we can have our opinions of them, but like, we
Mhm.
can't deny the impact, which is why I'm happy that you're also bringing up the positives about them.
Oh God.
But but just, yeah, because I can't deny, like you said, Red Hot Chili Peppers were hit makers. I cannot deny that. I cannot take that away from them,
Mhm.
no matter how I feel. But I do feel the lyrics are the worst part of their music,
Yeah.
and I do feel
And
they
there's
are
an
a
argument
little.
there. Their
And I
lyrics
also
are
feel
not
that I also
amazing.
feel that they are really overrated because, again, they're just doing something that, like, there are a lot of bands that you've never heard of that do it better.
Mhm. That's true. Yeah, they just got lucky essentially, and that's a big part of success. It's not like, it'd be nice if it was all pure skill and talent, but it's also there's luck, man.
And sometimes greasing some palms doesn't hurt either. But
True.
that apparently still goes on with radio play these
Yeah.
days. Payola still happens
Mhm.
today.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it does. I mean, radio stations need that money now.
They need that, and local advertising more should lean into it, I think,
Yeah.
because it is their market. Okay, so it's on me to name another band, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I've already said Red Hot Chili Peppers. Another band I feel as though, this is one I know I'm going to get some hate for. Linkin
Ooh.
Park.
Oh, hard agree.
Like, I mean, it's just I feel like they came out at the time of the new metal
Mhm.
thing, and they were advertising themselves kind of as that, but they're really nothing like that at all. And they do make, and originally, yes, they made their own sound and carved their own corner. I can't take that away. That is
Yeah.
all true and
Well,
fact. I just haven't heard anything that I feel is impressive enough to call my own, or call anything that I would be impressed with.
I think they got a few bangers, but like nothing amazing. And probably them more than any other new metal band, though lots of new metal bands dealt with this. But probably them more than anybody else. I always felt like they were honestly crappier Faith No More. Faith No More, in my opinion,
kind of feel like
underrated band.
I kind of feel like that's an insult to Faith No More, just a little bit.
Yeah, well, Faith No More is
Faith No
infinitely
More
more
is one
talented,
that is
yeah.
like definitely an overlooked and underappreciated band. 100%. They're kind of up there with like Green Jelly.
Mhm. No, a lot of the new metal scene, like, I feel like, was inspired by Faith No More, more or less. Except Faith No More never really reached the peak a lot of those bands did.
It's probably because Mike Patton is Mike Patton, but
yeah, Mike Patton's going to do what Mike Patton wants, and God bless him for it.
yeah. And I mean, I'm perfectly okay with whatever he wants to do.
Yeah, no, I've heard some of his side projects, and I'm like,
whoa.
I'm like,
yeah, they're wild.
Yeah.
Have you heard the cover? So it's essentially Mike Patton doing it like the Commodores' I'm Easy. He's like,
Oh
"Why
yeah,
am
I've heard
easy?"
that. Yeah.
Oh my god! Like,
Yeah.
it is one that I've when we did the best covers, that is one that I would have listed in my honorable mentions list because
Yeah. No,
that is a great cover.
it's kind of wild. It's like Faith No More, I'm Easy. It's like, well, it's a Commodore song. Like, how does Faith No More cover it? Extremely fucking faithfully.
To it, but just adding
Shockingly.
just a little bit of that edge for the
Yeah.
solo, and
Yeah.
that is it. And it's appropriate and tasteful, and it's great.
Yeah. It's
But
like,
it's also
damn. Yeah.
it also shows, wow, Mike Patton can actually fucking
Carry a
win.
tune. Yeah.
He can sing, like,
Yeah.
wow. Oh, but yeah, Linkin Park. I mean, and a lot of it is just kind of, to me, it's always sounded like super disjointed. And I mean, I know a lot of that new metal is supposed to have that sort of
Yeah.
sound to it, but like, I don't know, man. The ones that were more faithful, but just kind of evolving the sound of metal, I appreciated more. Like Filter, for example.
Okay. Yeah.
I appreciated how they were I felt that they were just evolving the metal sound a little bit.
Mhm.
The new metal stuff I liked Incubus. I thought they were great.
Everybody raves about Incubus, but I can't really get into them just because Pardon Me While I Burst was just my roommate woke up every morning and played that song, and I've heard it so much I just want to fucking freak out.
If you listen to the album before that, like Science,
Mhm.
that is a great album.
Yeah, everybody tells me I should dive into it.
I'm
It
just-
sounds like
I'm
it's
just
probably
telling you,
my thing, but like
you
yeah.
might like that album more because it's a
Mm.
little bit less commercially produced than Pardon Me, the one with that album on it,
Mhm.
or Make Yourself, which is that one.
Okay.
That one's just a little bit more raw, and it's like the DJ's there, but it's not as heavily focused as it is on that album. There are songs off that album that I think are great. Pardon Me is like not my favorite song off there, but it's good. Funny enough, that opening guitar lick is what I used to test out a phaser effect.
Nice.
I'm dead serious. The recent
I assume you are. Yeah, I assume you're.
recent phaser pedal I purchased, that is exactly the first thing I played on it to make sure.
Mhm.
Oh, cool. Yeah, this is exactly how I want it to sound. Excellent. Because Mike is, well, their guitarist is also a big inspiration for me, guitar wise. What's hysterically funny is that Nickelback is relevant. I'm just kidding, Chris. The hate is funny. They have their base. They do what they do. It's not for me.
Yeah.
But there are just some songs. Sometimes I've heard some lyrics that they've said that I just go, "What the fuck is?"
I mean,
this?
you brought up. I was like, wait, are they overrated? No, I don't think they're overrated. I think they're rated
They're
about
perfectly
what they are.
serviceable. What they do. It's not
Yeah.
for me, but I think it's like one of those easy punchlines for music.
I think they got a couple songs I enjoy, but there's mostly just meh. Let's see. I was trying to think of who else would there be.
Solo artists also work too, Chris, because another band that I feel is overrated is U2. I just
Me?
I can't. No. the band.
I didn't know I was
group.
an artist. What?
The group.
No, yeah,
you know,
U2.
Bono, The Edge,
The
other two guys. That guy who doesn't really know how to play the drums or the bass.
Well, U2 for me, I can't argue against them being overrated. I tried to get into
one
them.
good album. They have one commercially successful album.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, I got that album because I was dating somebody who loved U2. And so I got that album to check it out. And yeah, like I've heard all the singles off it, and I enjoy like a lot of U2 singles for sure. But that one album, the Joshua Tree, like their most like biggest commercial success, like everybody raves about, everybody talks about, it's one of the greatest albums ever. I listened to it and I was kind of bored.
It is. I was also very bored with it.
It's got bangers on it, and the bangers are the singles, and then everything that isn't a single is just forgettable. Forgettable.
Yeah, I think I'm painfully overrated, and this has nothing to do with Bono being an absolute piece of shit, but you know.
No, he comes off incredibly egotistical, which is just
yeah, like incredibly douchebaggy.
But yeah, I will say, like, if you like U2, there is a band from Australia that I think never got the respect it needed in the States. Midnight Oil. Midnight Oil has some damn good songs.
There's a band that came around in England, and it was like right around kind of the glam scene.
Mm-hmm.
And they're one that definitely, I wouldn't say completely under the radar, because they had one major hit. And it's one song that like another band covered, made like it did a bigger version of it, but like they originally put out "Come On Feel the Noise," which later Quiet Riot did and made like everyone knows the Quiet Riot version.
Oh God, yeah.
But like they originally put it out like, and the band's called Slade. They are amazing. Like I think one of their best songs is a song called "How Does It Feel," which is such a great song. Yeah, if you haven't heard it, I'd highly recommend you listen to that album. Another artist that was somebody that was overlooked was a Japanese guitarist, or kind of known as like, Japan's Jimi Hendrix. It's called Shiki Chen. And he had like an album that was 1970 called Shaky Chen and Friends. And oh man, that album is awesome.
Well, until Chris brought this up, I didn't realize it, because I remember that Spider-Man musical, that Turn Off the Dark, that was a complete fucking disaster when they tried to get that put together. And I didn't realize Bono and the Edge did the music for that play.
Well, that's why it failed.
Yeah. Ouch. All right, so I'll go ahead and name another one I think is overrated. Again, I'll probably get hate for this one. I guess a list like this, you're gonna get hate. Here's it's another band I would absolutely argue have absolute bangers. There's songs I love by this band. They are a classic band, so they're a bit more in my wheelhouse. But yeah, I just never have gone into any of their albums. So I, of course, am going to go ahead and talk about the Eagles.
Get the fuck out of my cap. I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry.
No. That's fair. I enjoy some of their stuff.
So do I. But yeah, I've listened to albums. I've been like,
yeah, they're more of like a singles band. Yeah. I feel. Here, I'm gonna put in the chat, or our chat, the Shiki Chen album, a link to it. So yeah, you can enjoy that freaking awesomeness. And I'm gonna put it in the chat on my channel.
I was about to say, you should I'll drop it in the main chat.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna do it on mine, so those watching on my channel can see it. And
well, I'm gonna put it in the main chat. So where's my mouse?
Yeah, we're talking about the band, not the winning team from Philadelphia, Chris. Which, as them being the closest team to my city of birth, if I had to pick a football team, it would be them, because it'll be a cold day in hell that I root for that other team on the eastern end of the state. The western end. Western end, yeah. It'll be a cold day in hell before I root for any team from that city. Bob, sports.
Yeah. I know all about the sports ball.
The sports ball and such, yeah.
I love sports ball. But yeah, the Eagles, I'll be honest, I think I like Don Henley's solo stuff a bit more than a lot of the Eagles albums.
You know what? There's some really great Don solo songs that are bangers.
Yeah.
Like All She Wants to Do Is Dance is a great song.
I mean, Dirty Laundry, Boys of Summer, of course. I want to say one of his later albums, he had quite a few bangers off it as well. Inside Job was the album. But
yeah, he did one album like when he was much older. That
I remember not being thrilled with that one, but yeah.
Well, they were based off poems of Waldo Emerson.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Does seem familiar. There was like a concept. It's been a long time.
Walden.
Yeah.
And like they're based off of poems, and he made a nature reserve and named it after the guy too. So it's like hearing that going, okay, cool. You're kind of about conservation. I could respect that, Don, but from what I know about you professionally, you're a dick.
Yeah, I was about to say he's also a douchebag. I will never forgive him for testifying for Congress that YouTube copyright is too lenient. Just like fuck off, bro.
Yeah, he's the reason. Yeah, they're the reason why Rick Beato can't really get that great of coverage when he wants to talk about what makes albums great. Here's what makes this great, because he tried to do a series of that, and he wanted to do it starting with Hotel California, but it got tied up in legal limbo, and it's like, dude, he's really just giving you guys praise. Like,
no, Rick Beato is great.
Beato is. I love listening to his interviews.
I mean,
I remember watching the day where he was like, I'm never going to be able to interview David Gilmour, and he's interviewed David Gilmour.
Yeah, and then he interviewed him. Is like, oh shit, maybe you should just do videos about I'm never going to interview this person and see what happens.
And then yeah, like he said about Paul McCartney. I went, are you just doing this because you said the one about David Gilmour and you got to interview David, and David was just super cool, and then David just started showing you toys in his studio like a little kid, and that was just like the coolest thing as a Pink Floyd fan to watch David get. Here, this is cool. Watch this. And then it's on the run. It's like, that is so sweet.
But yeah, Rick Beato, speaking of him, like I've seen a few of his videos. I loved his breakdown of Dance on a Volcano, which was just usually when people talk about Genesis, they don't go to like pre-80s stuff, and it's like, shit, he's digging up the first Phil Collins lead vocal song. Gotta appreciate that. Back before everybody knew who the fuck that was.
I forget what it was. He was talking about one band, and he brought up like a deep cut of them too, like just how you said with Genesis. And it was one I was just, okay, Rick.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll decide to break down a song. It will be something you've not even heard of. It's like, shit, nice.
I think it was something, and he had used like a reference. It was a George Harrison song, and I think he was talking about Wah Wah.
Nice.
And it was just more of like,
one,
and it was like how like one of the sounds is literally just from a Leslie speaker, and it's just not. That's like, oh, that is so cool.
That is very.
But
cool.
just Rick Beato. His interviews are great too. He did the one with Billy Strings, which if you haven't listened to any Billy Strings chaos, you should listen to that young man play the guitar.
Yeah.
Oh my. Nice. He's bluegrass, so I don't know if it'd be fully your thing, but like he can play the guitar, dude. Like.
Damn. I mean, if Maroon 5 is held in high regard, I would consider them overrated, but I don't know. Again, they're a band that they got a couple songs I think are okay, but overall, nah.
Yeah. You know what's crazy, and this isn't in the sense of being overrated, but like the Killers, right? They've been around since about early 2000s, right? And they have like one. They have more great songs, but they have the one song that everyone knows by them, Mr. Brightside, right?
Actually, I probably would
Mr.
recognize
Brightside.
It, yeah,
you know that song.
It's been a moment since I dove with the Killers, but yeah,
I guarantee you know that song.
Okay,
it has been in like the Billboard Top 100 for 20 years.
Nice.
That's pretty impressive. Like, and it's kind of a song about watching your spouse cheat on you.
That's
even funnier to me. University of Michigan college football program uses this as their pump up song.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like listening to it going, y'all know what this song's about, right? Like, it's also funny because the Tennessee college team, they use the song Rocky Top, which ironically, you know what the key element in that song, there's a whole verse about in that song?
What?
It's about killing federal agents looking for your moonshine shed.
Yeah. Oh shit.
And I just kind of hear that going like, that's pretty funny. Oh, I don't know about that, Chris.
Dude. Honestly, Weird Al's been getting lots of respect from me recently. Like he talks about how like he was offered a ad spot. And he ended up turning it down when he realized it was just for fucking AI. And he also talks about how he was one of the comedians invited to that fucking I don't remember the Riyadh Comedy Festival or whatever.
Yeah.
Lost a lot of respect for a lot of people who went to that one. But he was one of the ones invited. And he was like, yeah, I'm not doing that shit. That shit's gross.
I mean, you got to think how serious it is. Weird Al, who has never really made any political statements.
Yeah.
He has been covering Rage Against the Machine on his tour and not changing the words, just covering the song. Like I think it's Bulls on Parade is what he covers. And it's like Weird Al's covering Bulls on Parade. Like, this is real, guys.
Well, listen, I don't know if he's ever said anything political, but I know like he's a recurring character on John Oliver. So like, take what you will from that.
I mean, he's beginning a little bit to talk a little bit more of his politics lately because he thinks things are kind of fucked.
Well, that's a very reasonable take considering how fucked things are. But yeah, Weird Al is just somebody who I'm getting more and more respect for. By the way, total solid discography too. I've listened to probably most, if not all, his albums. Pretty fun stuff overall. And even his album tracks, his deep cuts. Like everybody thinks of like the classic like parody songs, but like a lot of the deep cuts are more the original stuff. They can get pretty funny too. They
can get really funny, and like even like the polka stuff can get really like great musically. Like kind of listening to it and you're like, you know what? I actually probably could stay and listening to polka.
I don't remember the name of the song, but I love when he does the polka version of "Don't You Wish Your Girlfriend Was Raw Like Me."
Yes.
That's gold. Oh, I love that. Yeah, Weird Al's great.
I think like also there's a good point about being Raiders being one of the greatest movies of all time because of he kills Nazis.
Well, yeah.
I also think it's like appropriate to say if you ask somebody like what's your favorite Quentin Tarantino movie and they don't say Inglourious Bastards for the obvious reason of why that is the best movie.
I don't know. I really like Django Unchained at this point.
I really liked it too, but I mean, they were killing Nazis. That was just
they were killing slave owners in Django,
and that was also the appropriate answer too in that. But
yes. Yeah. Anything where Nazis get killed, I'm good down with though.
Yeah, I'm. That's why, like one of those older war movies. Oh, Dirty Dozen is great. It's such a great movie. Just because a bunch of American MPs, like military prisoners, we'll commute your sentence if you go on this suicide mission. What do we have to do? You have to kill a bunch of Nazis. Okay. It's great. Also, like Lee Marvin's in it, and he just plays a hard ass. Charles Bronson is in it. Jim Brown.
Yeah, Quentin is, in my opinion, stuck up his own butt, but like he is a good director. But yeah, he drives me nuts sometimes when he does an interview, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. Let me just enjoy your movie. Let me
just enjoy your movie. And like you're out of your fucking element when it comes to Matthew Lillard and Paul Dano. You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about Quentin.
Dude, okay, you don't want to work with them. That's fine. You don't have to work with them. But like saying that they're bad actors, dude, you have no idea. Fuck
that is that is true, Chris. Yes. The Dirty Dozen is amazing. It is one of like the best World War II movies I think ever made, in my humble opinion.
Anything else you want to? Any other bands you want to go over?
I brought up the big one. You know what? I do have an opinion, and it is like kind of a solo artist, and it's Lionel Richie.
Oh yeah, I could.
I think he's just a little overrated, and like I
he's got bangers, but honestly not a lot.
I have a running joke that like the song by the Commodores, Machine Gun, which is just an instrumental jam with like a clavichord. It's like you hear it in every movie that takes place in the 70s, and like disco scenes. You know it when you hear it. In fact.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, did we lose you, Bobby?
No, I'm here. Okay.
I'm
sorry.
I closed the window and all of a sudden I was like, oh shit, did I close the stream window?
No,
fuck.
No. I gotta dig it up.
But yeah, Lionel Richie is one. Like, I really love the song All Night Long. So I was like, okay, let's dive into. I got his greatest hits, and I was really disliked the greatest hits. There's like 4 songs I liked, and like 16 songs that were all love ballads. It just got redundant as fuck. And then just out of curiosity, I went ahead and just got the studio album with All Night Long on it. Now I was actually shocked how decent it was. Considering the greatest hits, it's just kind of and then the actual studio album's decent.
Okay, this is Machine Gun. You know that song. You know
yes,
that one.
yes.
Yeah. I'm not going to play it all because I don't want to
say don't play too much. They'll copyright the shit out.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to get the copyright strike. But yes, you know that song. Yeah, I joke like, yeah, that's their best song. Why? Because Lionel's not fucking singing. It's the Commodores doing what the Commodores do.
The argument can be made, but yes. Oh yeah, let me go ahead. I just closed down my second window. Let me go ahead and see what we have.
I got it already. Oh, I already got. I am 10 steps ahead of you, buddy. Next
You're just showing off.
We got the end of Oak Street.
Oh yes, I've heard only good things about that so far.
My Adventures with Superman, season 3, episodes 6 through 10, and X-Men '97, season 2, episodes 5 through 9. I am excited to get back into this.
Yeah, I'm excited to get that wrapped up. See what's up with that. I'm intrigued to see what happens with my Adventures with Superman. But yeah, X-Men '97 is a whole nother level for me. That's really good. And like I said, End of Oak Street, so far the early stuff coming out on it is kind of exclusively good. So I'm hoping it's a solid one. With the trailers, I'm not sure. But yeah, it could go either way watching those trailers. Okay, and then Strange New Worlds the week after that. I know Strange New Worlds had to be coming up at some point.
Chris, I don't encourage drinking, especially not for that. I'm almost 10 years free of that poison.
Yeah.
But I do consistently have it up.
That's very
I will be, yeah. I'll admit that.
Katy Perry is popular. I don't know if she's necessarily well respected though, because
that whole astronaut thing was in some really poor optics.
Oh yeah. Well, the whole astronaut thing was stupid. I mean, the whole thing was
it was laughable.
It was all just gimmicks. I mean, I'll be honest, like I have my issues with William Shatner, but I get why he did it because fuck it, he's a 90-year-old man, go to space. But yeah, the whole we are doing an all-woman crew, and it's like I don't have an issue with doing an all-woman crew, but like this is like. Don't tell me Katy Perry's a fucking astronaut because fuck off. But yeah.
Wait, Chris, you didn't like It Follows? Because I thought that. Have you seen that movie, Bob?
Yes, it's been a moment, but yeah, I dug the shit out of it.
I dug the idea of it. Yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah.
Huh.
But yeah, End of Oak Street is the same writer director. So.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, the movie looks insane, so it's like, okay, I don't know what exactly is going on, but hey,
yeah. that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
I mean, we all have movies that like everybody loves that we dislike. So
I totally get it. Yeah,
100%. But yeah, I remember thinking It Follows is kind of a cool little premise.
I kind of feel that way about the 21 Jump Street movies. I think
really
absolutely fucking terrible. Just such a bad writing. I just think I think that.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but I also, for me, that was always kind of the point.
Painful for me.
I haven't seen the first one in a while. The second one, I occasionally just popped on and watched the ending because I think the ending's hilarious, where they go over like 50 Jump Street sequels. And I will say, like, it's a hilarious ending, but they also they're also solidifying like you can't make another one after this. We're done.
And yet they're making another one.
Are they? I didn't think they were.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd be interested if the same team.
I also think I feel that way because I feel that way about Jonah Hill as an actor.
Nah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
he's okay, but
I will. Oh, speaking of things that are overrated, Channing Tatum's Gambit. I'll get canceled for that one too. I know everybody loved his Gambit, but I was like, it's a joke, guys. Stop it. It's a joke.
I mean, he is playing Gambit in the next one.
Yes, he is. And I'm like, I guess we're doing this. Sure.
I think it's just more so that like I think that was like he's gonna play it up in that one, but I think he's probably gonna be more sincere portrayal of him. And
yeah, and Doomsday he kind of has to be, which we'll have to see how that works. maybe he'll impress me with his acting chops. But yeah, everybody talked about how good he was as Gambit in Deadpool and Wolverine. I was like, you guys get that was a joke performance.
Yeah, I
right?
understood
Like,
it was a joke. It was played onto the joke, and I think it's also even funnier that, like, you know, Channing Tatum is actually from that part of Louisiana. For a lot of people talk, so like it was probably very effortlessly for him to do that.
Yeah,
which even makes it even funnier. It's like, oh, honey, who is your dialect coach?
Shut up.
He probably said some insult that was super really classy, but really offensive towards Canadians. But it just sounded so polite.
And maybe Doomsday will give him the chance to show that he could have actually done a good Gambit. Because like I said, Deadpool and Wolverine was just a joke performance.
Yeah,
you know, maybe he'll actually turn in a good performance. That could be cool. I will forgive it then. I won't.
Okay, yeah. If you don't like an actress or actor in the movie, or I could totally understand why. You know. Yeah.
Yeah. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I will be live tomorrow with Comic Books and Chuds as normal. What else? We already went over next week on the podcast. I think that's it.
Yeah, I believe so.
Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to visit Bobby Quarters over there.
Do all the things.
Podcast channel. You know, like and subscribe to all the things. Helps us all out in the algorithm. Put a comment. If there's a pop culture question you'd like us to answer, drop those in the comments as well.
Let's see. We still have the who's the best actor a-hole poll up.
Yeah.
I think we'll keep that one up for about another 2 weeks, and
there you go.
Call it. Yeah.
You missed my stream on Saturday, Chris. You're missing out. You're missing out. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, party on, and be excellent to each other.
Take care.